Oh my god, I've been down here for like a fucking hour. Can someone please explain to me what it is that I am looking for down here?
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Oh, well that... What was that? What was that?
I think you know just as well as I do.
I think you know. No, I don't. I don't fucking know, actually. Thank you.
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopodize it.
Important. I'm in a boat looking at rocks.
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
John and Nick like movies.
Nick and John like movies.
John and Nick like movies. Who's it doing say first? I don't fucking know.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Buttered Up Podcast. I'm your host, John.
And I'm Nick.
Nick! What movie are we talking about today?
Iron Lung. Talk about Iron Lung, John.
It's fresh in the mind. Saw it a couple days ago. Just released this weekend. Guess that dates the episode. Surprise!
Yeah, dates it by a week? 2 weeks?
Today is January 31st.
Dates it by a week.
So, the year is 2026.
That is true. That is true.
Nick, tell me a little bit about this movie.
Sorry. Not a
That
Diet
good,
Coke. So this movie is brought to the world by famous YouTuber Markiplier, real name Mark Fishback, which is fitting because of the fish. So let's see. Iron Lungs, 127 minutes. Like we just said, released January 30th, 2026. We just saw this movie 2 days ago.
Yeah, we saw it for the Thursday night premiere.
Yeah, shout out to Gina.
I had to buy my own tickets, so no. Shout out to Marcus Lincoln the Grand Cinema for showing it in a college town. This theater had like 5 concurrent screenings of it. I mean, it was pretty popular, and each one of them was sold out. So they had a pretty big crowd. We went to one of the first shows, though, so the photos that I sent you of the people lined up at the concession stand were pretty underwhelming.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, oh shit. I was thinking they weren't going to be in their seats by then. But with assigned seating, you don't got to rush to the theater anymore.
But I will say, kind of a niche idea for the film initially, like video game movie brought to life
By a guy who played
typically
it.
underwhelming.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Like Assassin's Creed with what's his fucking name?
Fassbender.
Thank you.
But yeah, brought to life by good old Markiplier.
Yeah, I guess who started his YouTube journey in 2012. He does like Let's Play videos. He's got like over 35 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, dude's huge. And I will say, I will preface that Nick and I are not like Markiplier fans per se. Not that we don't not like him. It's just we did not grow up with consuming his content.
Yeah, we were more of a Game Grumps family. Game Grumps household.
Game Grumps, Filthy Frank,
Yeah, Filthy Frank circa 2016 through
WWE.
2020.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, bring back the Cena, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, they made him retire. Lame. Anyway,
So while we were not his target demographic, it still was fun to see a YouTube creator go out and move to the silver screen.
yeah, he made the jump in a big way too. He didn't play it safe. Go for like some cheap, like serial killer slasher film with kind of copy paste format. I mean, this is a unique story from a game that got a lot of like traction on the internet for being pretty popular back in the day. It came out in like
2022.
22, yeah, by David Zemansky, based off the game by David Zemansky.
Yeah, shout out to our fellow Polak out there making stuff, making fun games. That said, did not play the game. I watched Markiplier play the game. That is my one Markiplier video, was watching Markiplier play Iron Lung.
I will say I used to watch him play like some horror games, like Slender Man back in the day, and
Oh my god, that was
stuff like that. That was a long time ago. But I did watch his Iron Lung playthrough leading up to this, as well as like his Iron Lung lore video, as kind of like a research bit before we went to see the movie to kind of get some background context. But yeah, not much else in terms of media consumed by that guy. But this is a pretty popular movie with his fans for sure.
Oh yeah,
Because it reflects in the reviews.
yeah. So this movie Iron Lung, I think was scheduled. What'd you say? It was scheduled initially to be released in like 100 theaters,
60.
60
It's
theaters.
supposed to be 60 domestic theaters, and then it jumped. So it was announced to be released in December of 2025, or that was when it was announced that it was going to be in theaters. It went from 60 domestic theaters to being released in over 4,000. It hit 4,161 theaters internationally for a push. There was a public encouragement from like his fans and everything. So they called their local theaters and pushed for it to get more theatrical releases. And by golly, it succeeded.
Yeah, I mean, do it. Do it. All you got to do is ask. Just call in, and then you can get what you want.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Just make a phone call.
Call
Just
your
march
local
right up there and
congressman.
tell your manager you deserve that raise.
Tell your congressman you want to see Iron Lung and you want it in theaters and you want it in theaters now. But yeah, so it was scheduled for 60. With all the encouragement, went up to what over the 4,000. It made back its initial budget twofold in pre-release ticket sales.
Did it?
So its budget was estimated to be between $3 million to $3.5 million.
Oh.
And then by I have it down here somewhere. I think it was by the 29th or the 30th of whenever that article was.
I just read the Wikipedia page and it said that the budget was 2.2 million and it was projected to get 3.5 million just on Thursday preview releases.
Okay, so I got so pre-sale, this is per deadline.com, was north of $5 million by the 14th of January. And then by the 29th of January, like the day we were going to go see the movie, it had 6 million in pre-sale, and which pointed to a $9 to $10 million opening. And again, that's from deadline.com. So to make back your entire budget before the movie even premieres is pretty cool for a movie that he wasn't even sure if it was going to be released.
Or good,
to that,
right? Like,
yeah,
nobody had any idea how this movie was going to perform, and you know, it's very rare that like a producer, director, lead actor, whatever, he played everything, knows that he's going to make his money back and then some before it even comes out.
Yeah, so I mean, it really points to having like a good, dedicated, loyal audience.
35.5 million people. By the way, follow that guy.
Yeah, big following to go see your movie. So as far as that, I mean, that's cool. He had a lot of people he's worked with in the past work with him on this movie. And again, if you're a Markiplier fan, you might hear me mispronounce names. Even if you weren't a fan, I was going to mispronounce the names. So you can just count on that. We've got, it was also produced by Larissa Garcia. I could not find any notable work that she had been on before, except for one movie that part of the title was called Bab, B-A-A-B.
I like to think it's about sheep.
We also got Will Hyde and Amy Nelson, who worked with Markiplier previously on In Space with Markiplier Part 1 and 2, respectively. And then Jeff Guerrero, who is involved with 2010's Machete.
With
Daniel
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
There
Daniel Trejo. We also had cinematographer Philip Roy. I don't know if you guys have seen The Doodah Man that was released in 2015, but he was in that. The writers, Mark Fishbach, again, Markiplier.
Fishback.
And Fishbach?
Pretty sure it's Fishback.
You know, I have it spelled
Fishbach.
two ways, and I have his name written several times. Written by Markiplier and also Mark Schneider. And then art director. The art director was pretty cool because I feel like they did a great job with all of that, but we'll get into that later. The art director was Iman Korbani, who was involved in 1923, one of those Yellowstone stories that they keep fucking pumping out.
It's Fishbach.
It's Fishbach?
It is Fishbach, according to AI Overview.
Okay.
You can click on a video. How do you pronounce Mark Fishbach's name? And then it says Markiplier. So.
Shit. All right. Well, oh well.
Whatever. He's a really well-known YouTuber. He's fine. We're definitely not going to get any backlash for mispronunciation.
Or for mispronouncing Mark Fishbachiplier. So we got that going. Those are all the notes I had for like production and Credits.
Okay. Well, main cast, just a little bit. I did want to say that there were 4 notable names for me other than Marcus. Uh, Caroline Rose Kaplan, not really well known for anything. She does a lot of voiceover work though. She played Ava, our main contact that he talks to throughout the movie over the radio, and we see her like briefly in the movie. Troy Baker, he was one of the folks that was like in the hangar, I think, partway through the movie. He did a lot of voice work in BioShock, and he played Joel Miller in The Last of Us. He
Oh, no
did all the
shit.
voiceover work for that.
Oh, fuck.
He also played, I think, Nathan Drake in like Uncharted 4 or something like that. A lot of video game appearances. Ella Lamont was another one that I wanted to say because they were the fish voice. It was awesome. And then the last one, he made a brief appearance on screen, I believe. Sean McLaughlin, better known on YouTube as Jacksepticeye. Him and Markiplier are like I think they're 2 peas in a pod. They do a lot of like work with each other. He's a big Irish YouTuber. Has a lot of following over there and here as well. Very successful YouTuber.
Who did he play?
I think all of the people other than the fish lady, I think they're Troy Baker, I believe, was the welder.
Okay.
And then Sean McLaughlin, I think, was the other gentleman on the intercom that was like, arguing with her throughout. Yeah. So that's our cast. Very small cast, especially for a major theatrical release like this movie is. But this movie does take place in one spot, like one set. Just a few little fun facts about the movie before we get into like the spoiler-free review. It was first announced in April 21st of 2023. And filming took place in Austin, Texas from March 7th and ended on May 1st of 2023. A pretty awesome notable fact about this film is that this now takes the record for the movie with the most amount of fake blood ever used. The previous record was over 50,000 US gallons in Evil Dead in the 2013 reboot. This blew that out of the water. Iron Lung had a final estimate of over 80,000 gallons of fake blood used. So much of it so that there was a bunch of recording scenes where Markiplier had to be like under blood repeatedly. He got so much fake blood in his eye, he had to go to the hospital. So like it put him in the hospital.
No shit.
Yeah, dude. He bled, sweated, and teared for this movie. I mean, it and he paid for this whole thing by himself. It was fully funded by him. He directed it, he edited it. He put so much time and effort of his own into this movie. And I think that his audience really showed him that he can do those kinds of projects and be fully supported, which I think is really cool. A YouTuber making the jump to the big screen. I mean, we've seen TikTokers do it with like bodies, and like, what was that guy? King Bach, I think from Vine, ended up doing like
that fucking
the Killer
guy.
Babysitter movie or something like that. Like, so it's not the first time we've seen.
Is that the guy with the spoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not the first time
Stupid.
we've seen someone famous on the internet make it to the silver screen and do fairly well, but this is definitely the first time that someone has had a major theatrical release, been the director, been the star, and made everything come together in a way that was majorly successful. So, pretty cool. That being said, it could have been better. Let's get into a spoiler-free review of this really quick, and then we can dive a little bit deeper into the depths of blood.
Okay, so we're gonna try to go through what the video game for Iron Lung, again released in 2022 by David
Zeminski.
We're gonna kind of go through how that game played. So the first screen that you see on the game, as well as in the movie, kind of gives you like a context for the universe and the world building that they were trying to establish. It reads, decades ago, every known star and habitable planet vanished, leaving only those who were on space stations and starships. This event became known as the Quiet Rapture. With supplies dwindling and infrastructure crumbling, survivors are searching for any trace of natural resources in a universe of barren moons lit by the ghost light of vanished stars. One such moon holds a strange anomaly, an ocean of blood. You are a convent.
Convent, huh?
You are a convict tasked with exploring this anomaly in a makeshift submarine nicknamed the Iron Lung. It was not designed for this depth. You will be welded inside, and the forward window will be closed. There was no time for training. If successful, you earn your freedom. See Markiplier's character, the convict, and he's already welded inside, or he's already inside of this iron lung, this submarine, and then going into and then descending the ocean depth. Try to find resources. I guess it was pretty vague. The game itself was pretty vague, and the game gives you a map, and you're trying to navigate to these certain points, but you can't see where you're going.
Yeah, you cannot see outside at all. You get arrow keys
Yeah.
to navigate the waters, which is blood. It's an ocean of human blood.
Yeah, oddly enough.
Yeah. And so like that's why the biblical talk kind of comes into play of like it's a quiet rapture or whatever, because they really don't have an explanation for it. It is like something that happened of biblical proportions, and now we find this random moon that has oceans of blood.
Yeah.
Of human blood. Nonetheless. So they're like, what the fuck is in this thing? And so yeah, they weld you into a tube and they put you down in there. And the only way you can record anything is by taking a photo.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of the horror in the game comes from you have like proximity sensors that start flashing at you and blinking. Same in the movie. That adds to you are in a claustrophobic space surrounded by an enormous amount of pressure that already wants to kill you, and then maybe there's things inside of this ocean that are also trying to kill you.
Yeah,
and the only way you can navigate again, is with the camera and with those sensors. So not a whole lot as far as what you as a player are going to be doing in the game.
It's a game that uses claustrophobia and limiting your senses as mechanics for the horror involved, as well as something is in the ocean with you.
Yeah.
So, and that's not a big spoiler because the game's been out for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it definitely emphasizes like sensory deprivation being your main driver for the horror, because it's like you have no idea what's going on out there, and you hear noises and voices and weird shit keeps happening.
And you're never in the know. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You don't know why you're going down there. You don't know what you're looking for. There's no details on what it is that you're looking for, other than who sent you down there just wants to know. But again,
Yeah,
there's no.
they've identified points of interest for you to explore and take photos of, and that's it. That's all the information you're given.
And the whole time, like your oxygen is leaving. They don't bring you up to refuel you. You got to get everything done. And honestly, the concept for it is a solid concept.
It's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like that horror aspect succeeded very well. And I mean, even tying that into the movie itself did a great job of also capturing like the claustrophobia that you have inside of that, and the way that they utilize the camera, because it's like a giant X-ray. You get a giant X-ray cam that shows what's going on in the world.
Well, I would just say, like, if any of what we just talked about in reference to the video game sounds mildly interesting to you if put on the big screen, then I would recommend going to see the movie. In all reality, I would say that it's slow at times. I think the pacing is a little off, and maybe some details were added that didn't necessarily need to be in there. But it's 2 hours of your time that I'm not going to say you'll feel wasted when the movie's over. I think it's definitely worth the watch, especially for when you consider the amount of effort put into it by a single person into making this happen. I think if you walk into that with that level of respect towards the creator, then I think it's worth your time. If you're going to see this movie purely from a cinephile point of view, I think it's an artistic film that is still worth your time. But if you're going for like as a casual moviegoer that really doesn't know anything about any of the backstory on this movie or the production quality went into it, you might have a difficult time enjoying it to its fullest.
Yeah, and I don't think it was made for people who either A, haven't played the game, or B, who aren't like Markiplier fans. Like I feel like,
which I'm not either.
yeah,
I
if you don't
played the game. I did not grow up with Markiplier.
if you don't have a tie-in with that, it might be a harder sell. I guess unless you like just horror movies in general, I guess, because it was again a low budget horror movie. A
That's
lot
why
of
we went.
passion, yeah, a lot of
That's why we
passion was
went.
put into it. So that said, it is 2 hours. It is 2 hours, and it felt very long for 2 hours,
It was a
which
long
was
2 hours.
unfortunate. Yeah. But then I mean, like it built up well. I just feel like if you need to use the bathroom within the first 30 minutes, you're not going to miss anything.
Yeah. I would end of the line. Watch it if you want. I'm not going to pressure you into it. I think you could take it or leave it. It was okay. No dogging Markiplier. No dogging the amount of work that went into it. I think it did a great job with what it had. In terms of like the production quality and all that stuff. It's just, in my opinion, the writing could have been a little bit better.
Yeah, and that's going to be like part of what we like grapple with like going into like the spoiler portion is what kind of lens I guess to look at this movie
Yeah.
through, because again, it was a lot of work put into by a small cast or like a small group of people working on this. And so it's not like watching like a Marvel movie where they put like $250 million into something and then it turns out to be shit and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I wasted that.
Yeah.
But this
I
is
don't
this
think we
someone,
hated it. We did not hate
yeah,
this
absolutely
movie.
didn't hate it. It was good enough to where I would want to see another project that he puts out just to see how well it goes. Kind of like with Osgood Perkins and how Long Legs
Get
came
that
out.
man out of fucking Hollywood. Get that man out of a job.
And the I think that one of the big differences there was that like Osgood Perkins, Long Legs had so much promise to it and it looked so cool and there was fun lore that was behind it. Uh but then after Long Legs he made the monkey and
Dog
the
shit.
monkey fucking sucked and that was so disappointing.
And then he made The Keeper.
Have you seen The Keeper
I
yet?
have not. I'd rather cut off my leg,
Shit.
but I'm still probably gonna watch it just to dog on him.
Yeah, and like even if we do watch it and it ends up being good at a future episode, we will talk about how we did or did not like because we're gonna continue talking about Osgood Perkins because, dude, but ultimately that is the fucking
I
point
will
here.
eat an entire head of lettuce without any toppings on microphone if I enjoyed The Keeper
And
without
camera.
washing it.
We'll get a camera out. It'll be a whole thing.
I'll
No
eat the
fast
whole
forward,
thing until I throw up. I will do that if I like The Keeper.
and stare down the camera.
If I don't, then he has to eat his own shit. Get that guy out of Hollywood. Longlegs had such good potential, and then he just ruined his whatever. We're not talking about that movie.
Yeah, but like the main point is that like with Osgood Perkins, that was like, you see the one thing and it's good enough to where you want more. Markiplier, it was good enough to where I would want to see what he can do with like a little more, um, like if he can get more experience in the building instead of just people who were on YouTube
Or
and-
backing. Get more backing too.
yeah, more backing.
Financial support.
So he doesn't take everything on himself. I think wearing all of those hats is a lot. Like, not only having the entire investment be on your shoulders, but also then directing, again, starring, editing, whatever the hell else he had, whatever other input he had in this movie, which it seems like he had like the background input, but that's a lot to take on, I would imagine. So I would hope that there's just certain elements that he could improve on moving forward. And I feel like that's going to be how a lot of the review is like, this part I feel like didn't work out quite as well as I would have hoped it to work out, or like there's certain things that I understand would be like detrimental without having a large budget, but also Good Boy did so much with $70,000, but they were probably film students, so
Not a YouTuber.
yeah, not a YouTuber, but also they had $70,000 and were working with a pre-established set.
I want to know if he can make a movie without his name on it that the people will still like and enjoy without relying on a fan base. Give him a shot to make something brand new without relying on the fan base to make it as wildly successful as this has been. That's what I want to see. I want to see another project, but
Yeah.
maybe not as publicly advertised as his. I want to see him work on other stuff though.
Yeah, definitely want to see what else he can make. Because again, the set looked great.
The entity in it, I thought it was sick. So sick.
Oh yeah, yeah,
and like the concept behind like the camera work and all that in the depths. That was super cool. Go see the movie if you're interested. If the video game sounds interesting, or if you played the video game, I think it's worth your time to go see it. I think you'll enjoy it. If you are a normie trying to go see this for the first time, not really knowing who Markiplier is, not really knowing about the game, I would give it a look up and get a little backstory before you go in there, because I unfortunately don't think that this is going to be your speed if you just go into it blindly.
yeah. It feels like a Shudder original is really kind of what it reminds me of. Like if you would typically go out and just watch something that's on Shudder, then I think this is up to your speed. To sum that up.
So now diving into the spoiler section of this, you've already seen the movie. We're ready to talk about it. When it comes down to it, I just have to say this: more fish, more fish, less character backstory, more world building.
Yes.
It should not have to do background research to understand the plot. Like, I shouldn't have had to play the game. I should not have had to be a Markiplier fan and watch the videos or any lore videos to make it into the theater and enjoy the experience. But I feel like you really had to get the most out of the theater experience.
Yeah, it's like if a Dracula movie comes out and you go to see it, you should, like, while you already know what the backstory of Dracula is, like there should be tie-ins to where you're like, oh, that's very clearly what the story is going to be.
Yeah.
So, or like any of those well-established things, you still go in, and the movie should do a good enough job explaining what is going on for you, the audience, to also know what's going on.
Give me enough information in the main sequence of events in the movie to enjoy the movie for what it is, but then give me the option to go out and get the details from the internet and stuff. Make that frosting, make that icing on the cake. Do not make part of the cake stuff that I need to look up beforehand.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It should be able to stand alone. Like,
And more fish. I want more fish, dude. That thing was so fucking sick. And I understand that you had a budget limit, like whatever, $3 million, whatever, of your own money. And I get that. I do. Give me more fish, though. I wanted it. So cool. And the sequence that he had with the x-ray images, because like the camera works off the x-ray or whatever, the sequence when it was like brought into the fucking den and he takes it and it's like right in his fucking face, and then he takes another one and it's slowly backing away down into the burrow again.
Yeah, super
that
fucking
was
cool.
So sick, dude.
Yeah, super fucking cool. But yeah, and again, like the fucking fish needed to look cool in order for us to like want more. Like, but it fucking
And
cool.
it was huge, dude. It was huge.
He's like a giant fucking angler fish. Fucking rad.
Yeah, but like with human features on the top half of his head.
Shit, I didn't notice.
Because it had bilateral symmetry in the eyes, which is very close to humans. And with the x-ray images and stuff, it's like we're only seeing the bones, or like the
bilateral is at the front.
Bilateral is down the middle. Down like you can split a body 180 degrees and it's the same on either side.
Are fish not like that?
Some fish, like most fish are, yes. But like lesser developed creatures are, you get radial symmetry where it's the same all the way around. We are bilateral. It's term for evolutionary development.
Okay. But
the orbital features of your eyes, like the eye sockets on fish, are on the sides of the head.
Yes, I gotcha.
This are, especially like an anglerfish. I guess I don't fucking know, but
they're still are they not?
Typically anglerfish are blind because like they're so low, they're deep in the ocean. They don't really need eyes.
That makes sense.
But
they got a lot of
this
those
thing
little
had eyes forward presenting, which is like a pretty characteristic of animal predators. So thought that was pretty cool. And like the more you fucking looked at the skeleton on this thing, it looked like almost humanoid on the top half.
It definitely looked like a fucking person watching you.
Yeah.
But like I definitely see that.
Also, fish are mainly cartilaginous. I don't know if that would show up on an x-ray. It's usually bone that shows up on an x-ray. cartilage. X-rays usually go through cartilage.
And that's also like another point for this is that the bones that they were
I'm gonna get
seeing.
called out on that if I'm wrong, by the way.
Well, like if you looking at, we can pause and look at an X-ray of a rib cage real quick and see.
But
if
like
it
you
shows,
can get an
like-
X-ray of a head and the nose doesn't show up all the time. It shows up as like an outline, but not as like solid white like bone does.
That's a great fucking point. But also to that point with like cartilage and bone, they were just seeing bone. So
Yeah.
like the whether it was the remnants in the ground or in the sediment of the fucking ocean, or the fucking anglerfish that we see, all bone. So it shows that it's not, to a certain degree, it shows that it is like an alien presence of the shores.
Yeah. And to that I have to ask the question, is it a companion of the thing that is left? Is it a prey item that is left over? How many were in the ocean to begin with? Are they the same species? These are the questions I have. These are the questions I would have liked a little bit more depth into. The game obviously doesn't go into that. It's not that deep. But these are the things that I, as someone that was producing the movie, I would want to like
Expand
explore
on.
a little bit
Yeah,
more. Build
exactly.
the world. I don't care about him at like a space station. He's like, I didn't blow it up. I didn't blow it up, but I was the only one trying to save everyone and it made it look like I blew it up. And then I got in trouble for blowing it up, but I didn't blow it up. But you put me in this thing.
Yeah, and as far as the
I don't
blowing it up,
care.
and as far as the blowing it up, like what significance did that have for this space station? We know nothing about what.
Yeah, was it thing for resources? Was it the only thing that had a tree left on it? Because I know that was like kind of the lore in the game that I had to look up ahead of time.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that like there are answers to some of these questions, but again, that is something that you have to look for in the game. Whenever you're watching a movie, you don't get to do like side quests.
Yeah,
You
or
only
like-
get to see what is given to you.
Like his goofy little bracelet that he had. I'm pretty sure that was like a flower that was like sandwiched in there. But like, what's the significance of it? Is that do you not have like colonization, like plant synthesizer portions? You know what I'm talking about? Like Interstellar, like at the very end, they have like fucking farming communities going up and down the walls.
Yeah, can I do like quick background into the answer of like sort
Please.
of a similar? So with the significance of the bracelet, I do think it is a plant in that bracelet, and the significance of there being a plant that is preserved is that in this universe, there's a handful of space stations that are left. One of them was at Eden. Eden is significant because because that is where there's like the last trees are in Eden. That's where like the last biological life is, because biological life on every other planet has been erased. So all that is left of biological life was on space stations. So if there were no trees in any of these other places, they wouldn't exist. So plants do not exist. It's just people. So that's part of the significance of the Eden one.
Was not spelled out in the movie.
Yeah, not spelled out in the movie. We don't know that fucking plants are significant other than there was a mass extinction of like life. But then how do we know that this person has like this bracelet that just has a fucking flower?
Yeah, I mean, like if you have a space station and you already terraformed another planet, wouldn't you think that you would have sustainable materials on a ship?
Yeah, like
A station.
like in Fallout, how they cultivate their own food and
Yeah,
shit on their own
Yeah.
ships.
Or the Martian.
yeah, the Martian.
Like you don't think no one figured it out? Like no one had apples up there with seeds and they were like, I bet we could plant these.
Yeah. So I think that's the significance of that shit. And what else? It was the plant, and then fuck, what was it? It was the plant necklace significance, and
And it wasn't even his.
yeah, it was one of the previous pilot.
Yeah.
Of
And it
that
would
ship.
have been nice if like he instantly bonded to this object like it was like one of his best friends. They didn't spell that out. If it was another brother of Eden or whatever, they didn't spell that out either. It was, as far as we know, another convict that they put in there. And the sub had to have survived somehow to get out of the blood ocean and have another convict welded inside. So was it implied that the last person died, or was it implied that the last person succeeded and got out and they needed more images or samples taken? I don't know. This is kind of weird. It's like the person that was there before him just disappeared. And then he's gradually going insane, which is making the audience question what's real later on in the movie. Like there's a weird fish version of him that's like walking around the cabin and jump scaring him and shit. And it's like, how the fuck did that person get in there? Because you know that he's the only person in there because he's welded in. There wasn't anybody else stowed away. And it wasn't the last person in the ship haunting him, as far as we know.
Yeah, I think the like the weird little brotherly or like kin bond he might have had with the other convict was that, so for Eden, that civilization, that is where he is from. They attacked the filament station, which they like loosely talk about in the movie, with like this weird segmented kind of not well paced backstory of what happened on the filament station. And the filament station is supposed to be the fourth and largest space station in in the COI, or the
Coalition of Iron.
the consolidation, consolidation of iron, which is the fucking the group of people who are sending people down in submersibles.
Yeah.
So the COI is in charge of the submersibles and the like inmate fucking rehabilitation. No, get sent down in the thing, do chores for us, and then we expect you to die type shit.
See how confusing this is, audience?
Yeah, like this should be spelled out.
Spell it out.
Like I
in
don't
the
think
beginning of the movie.
I don't know if we even heard consolidation of iron.
No, we just heard
Consolidation of iron.
COI.
Yeah,
That is it.
and then the
And we're supposed to imply what Eden is. Like they don't tell you. We see the tree. We see children around the tree, and we see an elder that's like, "Oh, you're a fool."
yeah, and you figured that there would be more backstory on that if it was so significant to him being where he's at. Like if there was a reason for him doing what he did, that would put
I was
him in this
waiting
position.
for like a cut shot of the whole event transpiring.
Yeah, all we
and
see
it never happened.
Yeah, we just see a flash of a fucking big explosion,
Yep.
and then who we assume is his dad just dies. We have no context as to why he's labeled the Butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck that came from. But that whole thing was supposed to be a war. There was a war between Eden and
See?
COI.
No idea.
As far as we know, it's a terrorist attack. We don't know it was like
Yeah.
we don't know it was like a spelled out war that was going on. Yeah, he and other survivors of that who failed were taken as convicts by the COI, and they are the ones who are being sent down in these submersibles. So a tie-in potentially is that if he had the necklace with the flower, that would have also been a convict from the Eden civilization that Simon, i.e. Markiplier, was on before being sent to this fucking facility or this space station to then do work will set you free type chores. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, but like I thought those things were not meant to come back. And so to see that stowed away in the computer was kind of where my question was at. Of like, did that person die in the ship, or did he like go insane and kill himself? How did they get the submersible back without the computer being totally trashed because the other submarines are missing? He's in submersible at SM. He's in SM-13. He finds SM-8, implying that there are 5 that happened between SM-8 and 13.
Yeah, and
We don't find anybody else.
That is another great fucking point of things that don't make sense, because in the fucking game there's like 4 submersibles and the convict that
There's
you
also
play.
multiple blood oceans.
Yeah, multiple blood oceans. They're just in this one. And if they don't want to tie in the other ones, that is totally fine, because they're not significant to this movie if they're in this one. But what is significant is they are sending people down in the iron lungs. There's 4 iron lungs, and then there's one, the SM-8, which is supposed to be the good one. But we don't know that.
It was so in the game lore or whatever that you have to look up ahead of time because they don't spell it out in the movie. It's a submersible filled with scientists that they want to get back. It's meant to come back. That one is meant to come back. The iron lungs are meant to be a one shot. Just leave it in there.
Yeah, and it's odd that they only have 4 and they use them as disposables. And also,
fucking stupid.
That's just a great point of like, where did the guy go? Because he couldn't have been sucked into the ocean if his submersible is still around. So yeah, where did he go? Did he make it out alive? I don't know.
The only thing that would have made sense to me is that he went insane when he was down there and killed himself, and they pulled him out.
Yeah, that's true.
But they didn't. You're meant to you're meant to interpret that however you want. Like it's not spelled out. There I'm a big advocate for, intellectually telling a story, making me imply things, but also making sure that those implications are on the right path.
Right.
There was so much open-endedness in this that you could interpret one thing 10 different ways.
Yeah, and again, like artistically, it's okay if you have like an open-ended question.
Yeah.
Like you don't like you get to interpret what the answer is, but whenever there are pretty important plot points that are throughout the movie, you kind of want somewhat clear answers or at least clear foreshadowing or instances of all like, oh, I can go back and watch this movie and catch that later. Like it's okay if it's subtle enough to where you watch it again and then you pick it up the second time. But in this, it was like there just wasn't enough information at all given. And I understand that the game is like that there's not enough information given. But to have a movie where apparently there's all these uh, background plot that we only kind of get in the movie that
Mhm.
we're not able to get because again we don't get to do side quests in movies. So getting
Just
all of
spell it
that,
out.
yeah, get
Spell
that
it out next time.
because I mean, we get the initial thing of like what the quiet rapture is, and we hear about that so many times, but we don't hear about what the significance of COI. We don't hear about the significance of Eden. We don't hear about um we don't hear about any of the reason why the blood ocean might be there, even if it's from the convict's perspective.
Right.
Because I mean, he's also a person
Yeah.
living in this universe. What his perspective would be. Because I understand why COI wouldn't be talking to the convicts that are down there looking for stuff. But I mean, if they're down there to die, why not fucking
Yeah.
talk to them? Because they're not
Or
coming out saying anything.
or instead of like just saying, I have an image of a boneyard. We need to get a sample of that bone. Put a sensor in the iron lung that is like a sensor for like mineral deposits or something like that and say like, "Oh my god, this bone is made out of something that we can turn into something else useful for the station," or like since filament station blew up, we're looking for other ways to source our iron or something and we can synthesize the blood to do that. Because there were hints in the very very end of the movie that were coming from SM8 supposedly
Yes.
that you could use the blood to synthesize food. It did say that like while he was going insane. You can eat it, but you shouldn't. And it's like, oh god, just dive into that a little bit more. Like, why are we here? Why are we exploring the ocean? I understand that you're looking for resources, but what kind of resources? Like, what are the situations that are going on in the space stations, and what's the tension building that has led us to be this desperate to send people down in these fucking death traps on suicide missions looking for quote unquote resources? What is a bone made of carbon based life going to do for you when you pull it up with a submarine? Like, who cares? Like it's a bone. Like I understand the academic and like the scientific motivation behind that kind of stuff, getting samples of alien life and stuff. But unless you run like a composition analysis of it and like don't find it essential for human life or like we can't synthesize it into something that will benefit the mankind as a whole to continue surviving, who cares? I needed more world building, less about Markiplier, more fish.
Yeah, because and again, and like not a the character itself is so unimportant to what the whole story is because it's like
Yeah. We
they're
didn't need his name at all. He could have just been convict the whole time. I would have been fine with that.
yeah, because and the COI what was her name, Eva
Ava.
Ava, like that civilization. What we gather from what happens in the movie is that the importance of the individual is irrelevant. It's the community, like the again the
For the good of
consolidation of
kind.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
the good
good
of
of,
mankind.
and that is what is important. So even focusing on individuals, like needing to know that her name was Ava, or needing to know that his name was Simon, or needing to know everything about all these other people, that is so insignificant to what the story is, other than trying to dehumanize the convict into being like, hey, I know, but like
Mhm.
we need this information. It was like trying to add some like empathy, but again, I don't know personally if that was necessary regardless of whether I felt it was necessary or not, to spend as much time as they did on it, uh, it seemed like a side rail. Like it,
See, I was okay with that. And I was okay with mentioning the names because, in my opinion, that was her saying, we're going to get you out. We are going to get you out. However, sending him on a 30-minute deadline to go all the way back through everything he did in the movie and go get it again and then come back was not plausible. Didn't really make sense because I guess, in my opinion, this movie could have been a half hour shorter
yes.
because and there are like a couple details I would have fixed, not just like world building. World building is a big thing, and I would have liked to have done more of that. But trimming the movie down, the last 30-minute run that he had to do to get that information, in my opinion, he should have hit the SM-8 machine or the SM-8 submarine, and it automatically downloaded the data, but he didn't have the credentials to access the data, but it was already on the system. You see what I'm saying? Like, he hit it the first time and it already downloaded. He just didn't have the credentials to log in to see the data, but the data is already currently on the computer. So when he makes contact again, it should have been along the lines of, all right, you're not going to come get me? Well, what if you want the data from the SM-8 or whatever? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Because I found this. And then they find out that he has that data, and she freaks out and she's like, oh my God, we need that. That's so essential. We're not supposed to go get him. Like, the guy's like, yeah, we're supposed to leave him. Are you like ignoring orders and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, that date is fucking essential. We're coming to get you. And then that's when they exchange the names. And then she goes down after him and then she gets fucking eaten that way. That could have trimmed this whole, like, him going on like this brain rot, mind bending journey this last half hour of the movie, going backtracking to it into the layer of this thing and then making all the way back out. Because that really didn't need to happen at all because the main events that still occurred were the same.
Well, it didn't download. That was like the
No, that's what I'm saying. It
right.
should have. It should have just done that.
You just needed the
they should
credentials
have-
to actually download the information.
And like there's your leverage. You did not need to like negotiate having to go back and do it again. Have him download it automatically on the computer, and then you locally have access to it, but you don't have the credentials to it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you already have the flash drive that has everything that they want, but they still need to come get you to get it out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm just trying to think of like what, because for me, the 30 minutes that I think I would have trimmed would have been like in part of this introductory stuff where he even goes up the first time. I don't even know if we needed to see these people.
I completely agree. Yeah, he should have just been in that the whole time. The whole time.
Because the dialogue that we get while he's up there isn't necessarily significant. Them going up there was like him turning on the X-ray camera, realizing it's an X-ray camera, and then like giving everybody cancer. Like, that is so that the audience knows it's an X-ray camera. And at that point we get I think that was my least favorite dialogue, was whenever he hit the camera, everyone starts freaking out, and then the woman goes to the window and says, "That is not a normal camera. It is an X-ray camera.
Yeah.
You can't take a picture through blood." Like, that's stuff that you should already, like, that should already be in your head that, hey, you know what, this liquid's pretty thick. It's not very transparent blood. So you didn't need to go through that whole going up to realize that it's a fucking X-ray camera.
I completely agree with you. I was kind of just implying like that's where the fat trim would have been, and then all of the other like little things would have been more world building and less like him.
Yeah, or even just like alluding to the fact that they had these anomalies down there, or them knowing that they had lost the SM8,
SM8.
so that they need to find that in order to get information from it. Like, them knowing that beforehand, then him ending up falling into the pit or whatever the hell, then at that point he would already know that he needs to find it, but he can't get in contact with these people. But I hear what you're saying, and the fact that he had to find it, go back, and then go back again to then come back. It was like a back and forth.
He needed to do that at all. That fetch quest.
Yeah, they could have led to that before he even went down there the first. Like, whenever he's down there, these are the anomalies, and then at least saying this is the most important, like this is the most vital one that we need is this. But it seemed like whenever it popped up, they're like, oh shit, that's the important thing.
Yeah.
But he needed to go to all these
Well-
other points before seeing, oh shit,
Yeah, and like the
so
bone,
it must be this one.
the bone thing could have introduced him as a potential way out, right? Because like he finds the skeleton, and then they lift him up, right? That's how it goes. But he should have found the skeleton. It should have already been equipped with like this sample grabber arm, and then they're like, oh, okay, we need that, so run into it and get it. Like just cut that whole portion of bringing him up back.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great
and then
point.
just ram it, get it, and then they try to pull him up, and then the thing grabs him and pulls him back down, and then we're set right back on the path of the original film, like back to what it was, and then cut off the fetch quest to go all the way back to SM8. Like he'll find SM8 because it already like dragged him in to the burrow and shit. So he found SM8 and then he comes out. So trim him going back up the first time, and then trim the fetch quest. You've trimmed effectively like 40 minutes off of this movie, and then give me an extra 10 minutes of world building.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a great fucking movie, and I would have had a great time with it. And the fish was fucking awesome, and I wanted more fish.
And yeah, the fish was fucking dope. The scene where he goes into that portal or whatever the hell, because there's like, according to this YouTuber who did a pretty good job of summarizing this game, at It's Me Quill. He was like doing, what was it, like Rapture references. And so the one, like the portal that he goes into, but we don't know if it's like a portal or like a fallen star, whatever the hell it is. We don't even know if it's a fallen star, but like the
We have
references.
no fucking idea what it is.
Yeah, so there's like references to the Rapture with that, to references to the Rapture with all of this, but they don't really bring up religion at all, even though it is heavily alluded to that this fish thing is either a demon or the fucking devil.
Oh, I was thinking it
like-
was like a god, like a blood god.
Yeah, like some form. I would only say not necessarily a god, just because of the parallels to the Bible and to like Rapture with
Oh, you mean like all that's left
yeah,
after
is
the
it
rapture? That's fair.
Revelations or
One of the Vations. I don't know, dude. They could have told him it was an X-ray camera when he was in there, because he could have been like, "Why is the camera so shitty?" And they're like, "Well, you can't see through blood. We got to give you an X-ray camera." Like he did not need to tell anybody about it. And then with it being an X-ray, it's implied that he's getting constant radiation poisoning from slapping the camera so much. Like he's giving himself a dose of radiation each time. That's why he starts vomiting blood. It's because he's succumbing to radiation poisoning.
oh
Yeah, and so like I kind of
okay.
interpreted it as like either the fish god is actually telepathic, or devil, or whatever you want to call it. Either the fish is actually telepathic and talking to him because it's like the female voice later on in the movie, or he is slowly going fucking insane from not only being in this claustrophobic environment and dealing with these hazards, but also succumbing to radiation poisoning and gradually like losing his mind from being blasted with radiation.
I think it's a combination of the two, because I do think that it is somehow talking to him,
Oh yeah.
and that kind of fits with an anglerfish of luring you into like
Well,
where
yeah,
it can
and
strike.
like the
So
light that he was going towards, was it really a light, or was it the anglerfish's light? Like is it a dupe? Is it like a decoy to
yeah,
lure you in further?
and so and again, they don't really touch on this during the movie, but what they do touch on is that whenever he goes toward, I think in the game they call it like
It's like a crystal, isn't it? Or is it actually light?
like the seventh anomaly that he's going toward. Yeah,
Yeah.
anomaly 7. The void. They don't really reference that at all or its significance other than it is an anomaly. But that's the one that he's going toward, and then you start seeing like the acid trip kind of like he hits it, and then you see it's like
The
him,
light pierce.
yeah, him covered in blood, staring at like this fucking fish thing.
And the eye in the sky.
Yeah, the eye in the sky and the fish, and there's like a couple parallels to revelations. There's a couple parallels from that to Revelations. Again, shout out to it's me Quill.
And the Bible.
He references like the book of Revelation, the part where it says there are two stars that fell to earth. Then Revelations 9:1, and the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto earth, and to him was given the key to the bottomless pit, and he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose smoke out of the pit, and the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. So the idea, I guess, if you were to tie in Revelations, is that this star that fell to Earth or to this moon is then like a portal into hell, essentially.
That's
That
cool.
that
I like
opens that opens the gateway for hell and hell like creatures to come into like the plane of the living. So it makes sense if like this fish and that eye that we see are actually from like a hell like dimension, if not hell itself, then a hell like dimension. There was also I don't have the exact quote down, but they like there's apparently like two references to frogs in the Bible. The first one is the obvious like Egypt. If you've seen a Prince of Egypt, like the frogs and shit, that plague. Then the other one is out of like the mouth of a great dragon. There was the frog, and in the code for the video game, the anglerfish is actually named Frog.
That's
So
cute.
like, and then it came out of the mouth of a dragon. And in the game, the eye that you see has scales, but like reptilian scales as opposed to fish-like scales. So there's still the idea that there's two entities. The one is like that great dragon, and then the other one is the anglerfish or the frog, being from that dimension. But all we really see is the fish and then an eye, and those are the two significant ones that we see.
Yeah.
But again, there's no mention of a fucking dragon. There's no mention of anything other than this fish and other bones that are in the fucking movie that
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen, and I would have loved to have that world built just a little bit. So
I wish they would have tackled like the religious meaning behind it a little bit, like in like as he was having these psychedelic trips, those types of quotes were being recited. That would have been really cool. And for that reason, I'm going to continue to take it at face value of it's a fish god in an ocean of blood. I really just like it being left as like this is a fish god that has telepathic powers to drive you insane in order to lure you because it's an anglerfish. That's what I want to go with.
There's also references in Revelations where the oceans, the streams, and the rivers turn to blood, and all life that was sustained by those dies and perishes. That's another reference to like the blood oceans.
Yeah, but nobody caught on to that in the world, like in the world of this movie.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's fair.
because there should have been a religious cult around it, worshiping the ocean as such. Because I mentioned that to Kelsey when we got done. Because she, I'm not gonna say she hated this movie. She didn't care for it because she didn't like that we had to do research for it ahead of time in order to understand all of it. And I said, yeah, I think that if this fish is truly like a demonic or godly being, that there should have been a religious following of it, regardless.
I would see that, but I also don't know if there were enough people who knew about what goes on inside this ocean.
Okay, so in the game, right? The research you should have done ahead of time if you wanted to go watch this movie. In the game, there are parts in this ocean that actually look like human-made structures on the ocean floor. There are screenshots of like windows and like pillars leading to structures. If he would have found something like that showed that like this maybe was once a habitable planet or once like something else lived here, like there was more humanoid, and it was like a religious building dedicated to this thing, I would have been much more likely to believe that like this is like a god here or like a devil.
Okay, yeah, because they did not seem surprised at all by the evidence of
No, they're like, oh,
structures.
a bone, grab it, grab the bone.
Yeah, the bone.
I want the bone,
they
grab the bone.
They didn't give a shit about the building, did they?
No.
And that would be pretty significant if you're on a fucking moon that your civilization has known nothing about other than it
Yeah.
has a blood ocean. To be like, oh, that's fucking. I wonder if they had shit in there. What can we learn from these people and how they lived on this moon?
I wish he would have consulted people that had not played the game, because I think that he would have benefited Markiplier in terms of I think he would have benefited quite a bit from an outside audience that had never been involved in the game, giving him pointers as to like maybe what the movie should have pointed towards more than just Simon's backstory. Leave him as convict, build the world, build up the significance of this ocean, like the meaningfulness behind maybe why it's there, what we believe is in it, the religious significance or the resource significance, and leave out the reason behind you being a convict. We don't care. You're a prisoner. That's fine. Like just leave it at that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, as interesting as it would be to get like the quick 5-minute flashback before we cut to Markiplier in the Iron Lung of like what is going on with like the Eden and COI conflict to where it leads to the fucking one station getting blown up and then cut to him being submersed in the Iron Lung after being like captured or something. Like something like that does not need to take
2 hours to do.
2 hours. That could have been like, okay, so that places our main character in this situation.
Yep.
But being that this is a horror movie and not like a drama, we don't really need that so much to be seen. I don't even know how much detail needs to be alluded to. Probably just enough to get him there. And we can even have like the narrators from like Ava to the other two voices that we hear through the system. That could be alluding to the fact that he just blew up a station and that's
have
why
the
he's
fish
here.
god do it. Have the fish god be the narrator.
Yeah,
'Cause it knows it's an all-knowing being.
Yeah, and the fish
Why not?
moving toward the end, talking about the structures, like not just trying to get him to come to the fish, because it's all about like a journey to what's beyond the void is what this fucking fish is trying to talk
Mm-hmm.
to Simon about, of like whatever that knowledge is that can only be attained beyond the void. And so if he's trying to talk to him like that, if he's trying to even like
Sorry.
yeah
Trying to talk to her.
if he's even trying to fucking communicate with what his food is, he obviously sees it as more than just food and that he can communicate with this thing or communicate with this person. And so if he's trying to communicate with the person, why not also talk about what was here before? Yeah, again, like spell out why was this building here? What are these like monoliths that we're seeing, these
Yeah.
structures, whether they're bones or teeth? Or,
Yep.
I mean, the same. But
What if you found like human carvings in the bone? Like they use the skeletons as like a religious piece. Like they carved the bone into like monoliths or statues or something. Like it is bone, but it's like it's also religious.
yeah, or like yeah, even seeing any of that with
Like what they do with Kong.
yeah.
Like
And there's so many points where they can genuinely stray away from the game and like add their own lore because like as cool as the game is,
it had a lot of room to wiggle.
yeah, it wasn't the most deep story.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot that could have been added to that story to make it more interesting or more appealing. And I mean, they were able to do it for Super Mario, so why can't they do it for Iron Lung, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That said, yeah, that said, I think those are things to like that I would hope to see. Like if Markiplier makes another movie based on like another game that he plays or just something else, those are definitely areas that I would hope to see improvement on over like
If I may
snip snappy.
be so bold, remake it, keep most of it, keep like an hour, a little over an hour, and then listen to this podcast, Mark, and then maybe
Mark Fishback.
yeah, maybe
Fishbach.
maybe take it into consideration that there are viewers that are going to see this movie that are not necessarily people that have played the game or follow you like a weird parasocial relationship.
Shout out to fans though.
We just want to go. Yeah, shout out to the entire theater that fucking clapped after the movie was over for me because they were clearly Markiplier fans that were so proud of you, and you did a fantastic job jumping from YouTube to the silver screen.
Genuinely.
Genuinely, congratulations. But as a cinephile that is a fan of horror films that wanted to go see this
Certified
art
movie liker.
project, they wanted to go see the art and the effort put into this movie. I was a little bit disappointed to see that it was kind of not designed or written for a casual movie-going experience. I'm okay with having deep lore in the movie. Don't get me wrong. I love the deep lore. But give me enough during the film that I don't feel the need to have to. Like I should want to go dig into the lore, but I shouldn't have to fully understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's a cherry on top.
Cherry on frosting, icing on the cake.
Yeah, it's like to I would say a lesser extent, like the M Night Shyamalan Avatar: The Last Airbender movie, and how that movie was put together.
Garbage.
Like, yeah, but I mean, it was put together like the audience had already seen the entire show, and to a degree, I understand that thought process. But I mean, you need to help the audience out as if it's their first time watching the movie. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like Spider-Man where they had 3 renditions come out in fucking 20 years. So
Write it for everybody,
No
but
one has seen
sprinkle
Iron
in
Lung.
little pieces that make the people that know about it appreciate it more.
yeah, to where they might see it and be like, I want to play that game. Because now
Yeah.
it's like I have to. And I have to sounds more like a chore than a fun little like, oh well, I like this movie.
I
I
have
want
to
dig deep into the
understand
lore.
it, not I have to because it was so good. I have to.
Yeah, and
I
then
have to understand it.
And then even at that point, you play the game and there just wasn't enough in the game for you to like fully understand what's
Yeah.
going. So you still leave confused, but not confused from the perspective of like you just need to watch it again to find out. I think even if you watch it again, there still isn't enough information of the world. And again, the world could be interesting because there's a lot to work with if you're dealing with a rapture, a fucking blood ocean, odd like structures that were clearly built or constructed in this ocean, whether it was there before the ocean or during the ocean. We don't know. But again, those are the fun things to dive into.
And those are the things that I'm sure the community would have fun you taking creative liberty and elaborating more on.
Yeah, absolutely. Because people came to see it because you made it. And I think at that point, you can trust your creativity or like whoever they can trust. If they want to go see a Guillermo del Toro movie, you expect to see Guillermo del Toro's touch in the movie.
Absolutely.
So, like, whenever Guillermo did Frankenstein, you didn't expect a one for one comparison with Frankenstein from Mary Shelley's to Guillermo's. You expected to see what what makes Guillermo special in that movie. So
Yep.
like as far as seeing Iron Lung, don't want to just see like a one for one of the game that again did not have much content to deal with to begin with. To then take that and expand on it with what you think would add to the story, or like they
I think
leave.
that's what he did do.
Yeah, but to like the point where it's like, I don't think that liberty was taken in the correct direction. Again, with what we're saying, with too much backstory on the convict and not enough on like the fucking blood temples,
Yeah.
not enough on the fish deity, like
God, I wanted more fish.
because it was. I mean, in the way that they did the claustrophobic horror was again,
Yeah, it was
cool.
great.
Like
Yes.
the nautical sounds
In the
was
slow
great.
descent into delirium totally made sense if you're coming at it from the perspective of he's claustrophobic, he's alone, and he's succumbing to radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
Those made sense. But the extra plot, or like the meaningless, not meaningless, but the extra side questing he needed to do was unnecessary. And we don't care how he got there. Tell me more about the fish god, or like the structures that are meant to worship, and
Yeah, the
what
fish
we
god.
what we care about this ocean. Like, why do we care so much about? And I know that you're looking for resources, but like, really, why? Like, what is in the ocean that is so fascinating?
You're trying to harvest these fish. You're trying to get like some fisher
Yeah.
boats out there.
Yeah, because if you can synthesize the blood into food, that is something that you could get from surface samples. You don't have to dig. You don't have to dive into the ocean to figure that out.
As far as that goes, I think that might be a problem too with just this like the source material, and that
Hey, maybe, yeah.
like the game itself, the idea of there being a rapture and then you exploring a blood ocean for artifacts, and not necessarily like you're running low on supplies. There's you still have mouths to feed, but
Mhm.
nothing to feed them. That would be like the priority. So that might just be a fucking issue with the
For
source
artifacts.
material here.
Like Space King.
Yeah.
For the Emperor.
Everyone is starving, and you're all like, I want the bone. I want the
I
bone
think there's
from
a
the
fax
sediment."
machine down there.
We need that relic.
All in all, I think you did very well with the source material, bringing it to life on the silver screen. I just think that there are things that we have critiques over, and we wish it was done a little bit differently. But I think it's a fantastic first attempt as a lead actor, director, producer, and a storyboard artist all coming together on the big screen. It's a good first try.
Definitely like a good first attempt. I don't know how to put it. There's certain moments where what the scene called for as far as acting goes, you didn't really get. Like there's like 3 emotional scenes where it looked like Markiplier was trying to cry.
Yeah, Mark, you need to learn how to cry.
Like
If you're gonna play the lead, you need to cry.
get those Erica Kirk drops, dude. Like there were definitely scenes where that looked like it was the case, and honestly, I think even if crying is not his strong suit, he could always just edit around it.
Yeah, put some fake tears on him, on his face, or like cut away from him, like the close up shot of him trying to cry.
Yeah, not everything
Just
needed
like
to
do
be
like
in
a
one
zoomed out
take.
shot of him like crumpled up on the floor with his head in his hands. My opinion, it's a bad opinion according to Markiplier fans. I already know. I'm gonna tell you what we said leaving the theater. Kelsey and I got in the car, and she said, "Well, that was a movie," and I said, "Yeah, I really like the fish, though." That's what I have to say about this movie. So, all in all, go see it if you want. It had fun source material. It good old college try, Mark. I don't know. I didn't. Again, we did not hate this movie. We just would have liked to have seen maybe a little bit different direction in some things. So, thanks for listening to our interpretation and review of Iron Lung by Markiplier. And, we're being pretty critical of it, and that's just how we feel about it. A lot of people love this movie. It's got a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes right now and a 6.9 on IMDb. So, we're just being assholes. So, it's fine.
In a way, but like not trying to be.
We're not trying to be, but it comes off like that. We just, we're entitled to our opinions, and that's why you're listening. So, shut up. Anyways, this has been the Buttered Up Podcast. Feel free to reach out with any recommendations on our little Instagram, the Buttered Up Podcast, and we are open to suggestions on movies.